Hey y'all, it's your girl Stephanie. It's the Wrestling Color Podcast right here on YouTube. Make sure you thumbs up the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and my Pinterest. It's jumping over there. Make sure you hit me in the comments. I love to hear what you guys got to say about what I'm posted and anything you want to comment on. I got over 100 episodes just sitting there waiting for your listening pleasure. So we'll be talking about, well, there's been some releases this past week with Dexter Loomis and Persia Parada and a couple other people. I don't even know, some what you call it, a referee. And honestly, it's just like, okay, I'm not even invested in any of these people to really get riled up about it. And apparently the new thing with WWE NXT 2.0 and beyond is you got 90 days to make it work. If it don't make it work, they're gonna let you go. And you know what? Whatever works over there. I'm honestly, I don't even care at this point. To be sitting here riled up, I just don't. It is what it is. So with that being said, Ember Moon sat down with Chris Van Fleet and she talked about different things. But the hot button was her departure from WWE, which was shocking for everybody. But I kind of knew the writing was on the wall because of her aesthetic and because of her lack of character development. I think that was always something that Ember Moon, or Athena Cooper, her real name I believe, lacked, was character development. Didn't nobody know what she was motivated by, what she wanted to do. So in this interview, not trying to run the whole thing, but some things that I remember, because people just playing a small clip. I wanted to hear what the woman had to say. I will say this is the best Ember Moon looked, period. Normally, her hair out of place, her makeup fucked up, she look a mess. This is the best she's looked, period. She's speaking really good and clear. She seems to be excited at where she's at. She explained how she met her husband. There's some controversy there about some behavior that took place, I think in 2020 or 2021, that I wasn't aware of, and that's something we'll probably touch on. You know, she was very articulate and clear about what was going on, and I just wish she would have talked about her character development. That's something that didn't get spoke about for some odd reason. I also think because she didn't have a character, that these old fuckers did not understand what she was doing. That led to her downfall. When she was on Raw, she didn't have a character. When she was on SmackDown, she didn't have a character. They had her back there acting like a dork. People, older people, come from a generation where you had the jocks, the pretty girls, and the losers. And the losers always seemed to play video games, read books, and look a certain way. The pretty girls looked just that. The jocks ran the schools. This is the stereotype that American society has put forth in their televisions, on a television show, in their music, with the teenage bopper and all this other historic shit. And because of that, Vince McMahon comes from the baby boomer generation, Bruce Pritchard and all of them. This is when they see certain people are interested in certain things, they will dorkify you. Oh, she likes video games, so we're going to have her sit in the background and have Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville come up and abuse her and tell her how ugly and stupid she is and knock her video game out her hand and take her book and read it, and take her book and rip it because she a dork. And you know, even though when she's in the ring, clearly she's whooping ass, but for some reason she don't have no wherewithal to defend herself outside of the ring. She's just sitting there looking like a dork. Do y'all remember that clip? Because that shit just sent me.
All that matters right now is that Carmella lost. Yeah, because I would have been really annoyed if she got a title opportunity before you and I.
Oh, for sure. Give me one of those. You're welcome.
Yeah, some people don't know what they need.
Seriously.
But anyway, I'm really excited about my Fit with Mandy app.
Oh, it's gonna be dope.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. You're still reading that stupid book?
Actually, it's a different book.
You know, some of us read more than one book a year.
Yeah, not anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry. Remember when you threw all my magazines on the floor last week?
Yeah, that was rude. Very rude.
But no hard feelings, because what's mine is yours, and yours is lame. Excuse me.
You're gonna regret that. Let's go.
So that's a clip from 2019. Ember Moon is sitting on a crate and she's reading Carrie by Stephen King, first of all. And Mandy and Sonia comes up to bully her. And that was the running thing for like weeks.
I just wanted to get your response to how Mandy and Sonia treated you earlier tonight.
How do you think I feel? They broke my switch. They broke it. You know, the only thing I try to do is make the best of my time back here. I try to read a book, be left alone. I try to play my video game, be left alone. But Mandy and Sonia will not leave me alone.
Well, last week you did take Mandy's magazine and rip it up and throw it back at her face because they wouldn't leave me alone.
What did I do to them? What did I do to them that they want to come and shove that stupid Muscle and Fitness magazine in my face? I did nothing. But I'll tell you this. I will be doing something about this.
The crazy part with all of that was Sonya Deville being gay was literally bullying supposedly the helpless dorky black girl, which was the dumbest shit. All of that was in 2019, and that the reason why she was put in that position is because they don't know what the fuck to do with Ember Moon. So with that being said, back to the interview. I just wanted to play those clips because I was, and then I go back and I commented on the clips like, why the fuck is they treating these grown ass women like they in high school? Oh, well, you need to read my Muscle Fitness book because you look like a bum and you a bum. Like, girl, what? Anyway, so during her interview, it was a couple of important things that I think was missed. She was very upset about being handled in a very awkward fashion. They did not communicate with her. They took Shotzi away from her, acted like they didn't know her and Shotzi were tag team champions, act like they didn't know they had merch. She said it was Raw writers coming to NXT acting like they didn't know who the fuck she was, didn't care, telling her a bunch of lies about they had something for her, told her that Shotzi was up there with Tegan. She was happy, but it didn't make sense, and that whole thing with Tegan and Shotzi was a bust. She talked about she went to Triple H like, yo, what's going on? He act like he didn't know what the fuck was going on, because I guess he was on his way out. She just said, you know, it's like you don't want to make waves or rock the boat, so all you do is say, all right, whatever you want me to do, because you don't want to get thrown to the wolves because you know, might be a little bit too talky or headstrong, like most fucking jobs. You know, the person that speaks up the most doesn't get anything. They make sure to make your life miserable, which is ridiculous in itself. So she got really emotional, and that's the part that I want you guys to hear. She got really upset, and I understood why she would get upset.
Mentions that fire-colored ombre takes a minimum of 8 hours.
Oh my
It
gosh.
is extremely tedious, and like, mind you, during COVID, my dye supplier actually shut down, so I'm having to find different colors, and I'm spending a fortune on this hair. And 2 weeks later, I show up to TV. I'm like super motivated. I'm happy, and I'm like, okay, it's finally looking up for me. You know, just wait it out. Just wait it out. And I remember Ryan Katz and I went and filmed like a kind of demo of kind of the vibe that I wanted. And I was like, and he's like, this could be awesome. Da da da. Come back. I get the video ready. I'm ready to show everyone after TVs, and they go, hey, we got some bad news. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? I got this video. No, Vince is pulling you off TV indefinitely.
What?
And I just kind of sat there, and I was just like, what did I do wrong? And he's like, you did nothing wrong. And I was like, I have done everything that you guys have asked me. I have gone over and above. Like, I can't express to you, like, when they put me and Shotzi in a tag team, everyone knows, everyone backstage knew, like, I'm not a tag team person. I hate tag teams because there's just too many moving parts. And it's not that I hate tag team wrestling, it's just that it requires so much more to give versus relying just on yourself for that. You have to rely on like 3 other people in the ring to make sure everything's on point, which is fun. And I feel like me and Shotzi capitalized on it, and we were just so motivated within that tag team to build a division, and then we weren't able to. But like me showing up to that TVs and it's like 2 a.m. and I just remember sitting there and I was like, I've done everything you guys have asked me to. I've done over and beyond. I've branched out. Sorry, I'm getting emotional about it. I'm trying not to, but
I understand. Like, this is the dream job, especially
Yeah,
like
when
someone
you-
who's a wrestling fan, like lifelong wrestling fan.
And when you care about something and you care about this business so much more, not just for yourself, but for everyone involved, it hurts so much more because for so many years, I've been not about myself, if that makes sense. I've been for the match, for the other people. And to be told that I have done nothing wrong and I was taken off TV for doing absolutely nothing wrong, it hurt so bad because I was so happy walking into work. And I remember when Shotzi left, I remember going to my makeup artist and going, I'm so unhappy. I'm so unhappy. And we'd have to sit through stupid meetings about how we would have to dress sexy. And I remember looking at someone, I was like, no, I cater to children. I am not about to wear fishnet booty butt cheek shorts because we had a 2-hour meeting about how to dress like Mandy Rose. That's not fair. Not everyone is going to be Mandy. Mandy is absolutely phenomenal and she's an amazing person, but not everyone is Mandy Rose. And that's like, I started seeing this downslope as soon as Hunter was gone. And like for the first little bit, we didn't know why he was gone. We just knew he wasn't there, you know? And so it became this, like, I got so angry. And I remember sitting there and I was like, I did nothing wrong. I didn't piss off Vince. I said, you take Shotzi away from me. Now Hunter's gone, you know? And I said, like, you guys promised me this wouldn't happen. You guys promised I wouldn't be lost in the shuffle. And I said, I went on this losing streak to help you guys out, to help build other talent so I could get a reward. And they were like, well, not everything's lost, Ember. You know, we still want you to come and help out the next generation, maybe teach a class, maybe, you know, do some PC Lives, which is the student show in front of no fans. And I'm just like, so you're taking me off TV and you're trying to make me a coach. And I just remember like laughing and I was like, you know what? I said, if I've done nothing wrong, I said, you can cancel all my flights. I said, I'm not coming to help these people that do not care about what I do. They only care about the paycheck that hits their bank account. They're not passionate like me. I'm not going to come up here and help these people that don't care about what we do when there's no benefit for me. Yeah. When I've done nothing wrong, when I've given you my entire right side of my body, between my elbow surgery and my Achilles surgery, I've given you this entire side for no reward, not even a thank you. And like, you want me to coach? You want to take me off TV to come coach? And I remember just like sitting there a moment and I got teary-eyed just like that. He's like, are you okay? I go, no, I'm not okay. I said, this is what you can do. I said, I'm not coming up here to coach. I said, I'm not coming up here to do your PC shows. I said, I was supposed to come to NXT to repackage and then go back up to main roster. That was supposed to be within the year, but yet I'm still here. You took Shotzi away from me. I said, I have nothing to go off of. I said, so I'm going home. I said, cancel all my flights, cancel all my hotels. I said, if you have a flight there and you have no creative for me, I'm not getting on the flight. I said, I'm not doing this anymore because I'm going to snap. And it's either going to be on you or it's going to be on a talent. So I am going to go home. And I said, you leave me there till you have something for me. And I said, and even then, I said, I need to approve the creative before I hop on the flight. And it's the first time I've ever pulled this card. And I remember thinking, I think I just quit.
So, when you hear all that, I said, this reminds me of Jon Moxley when he exited. And he said a lot of things similar to Ember Moon. And I think his exit interview, when he left WWE and he went on his interview to explain how he felt when he left, it harkens back to him, for me anyway. Because it's like, it's more than just the money. And then this is something Jon Moxley said, and he said, and I quote, "Nothing I do now is motivated by money. Everything I do is, whether it's a show I do, a wrestling show I do, a match I have, anything I do, any project that I'm involved, I'm chasing and directed by passion, creativity, artistic satisfaction, and fun. That's what I'm chasing. That's why I think rewards be monetarily will come. When you are interested, when you get the blessing to do something you love and make money, money comes natural. When you having a good ass time, when you are being fulfilled in whatever your purpose is, money comes natural." She walked away. She said, even in the interview, she said they offered her 5 times what she was making. So I don't even know what she was making. They claimed she was making like $50,000, which I don't believe. And they offered 5 times of that, so they was bringing her up into, you know, the 200,000s or whatever for her to be a coach. Don't nobody want a coach, and when that's not what she was there for. She also said she was supposed to go down to NXT, repackage, and go back to Raw or SmackDown. That's where the confusion is. They don't know what to do with her because they didn't know what exactly she was. They didn't. And I'm going to stick to that because I didn't know what she was. But that doesn't mean you can't give her a character. If Mandy Rose is supposed to be this hot, sexy bitch going on, what's her name? Cora Jade is the skater teen girl. You know, you giving people why you couldn't give Ember Moon something to work with? If she was going to be a She-Nom, you should have pushed her in that direction, in the Undertaker direction, the supernatural direction. She was just coming out, roaring like a wolf, and going in the ring doing her thing, but it never translated. So everybody's like, well, what exactly is she supposed to be? WWE's the one that told us you got to have characters, and they got to be bigger and bolder and better in life. She went back to NXT to repackage. She didn't repackage anything. Nothing was changed. You put her with Shotzi. That was it. She was in NXT, went back down to NXT for like a year. Nothing had changed. And like she said, you put her in the tag team, she adjusted. You moved her over here, she adjusted. She did everything y'all want to do. She didn't want to rock the boat. She didn't want to be a difficult team play and all this bullshit. And y'all turned around and kicked her in the ass. That's also something Jon Moxley did. He said, and I quote, "Promos used to be my favorite part of wrestling. I loved it. They ended up becoming my least favorite part, the part I dread. Because now it's not me coming up with ideas and coming up with ways to hook you into the story. It's me trying not to look like an idiot. Me trying to appease all these people. Me sitting down with the writer. That is how it's supposed to be." That's basically what he said there's a way, WWE has a way of making you hate, dreading the profession of pro wrestling. He said he hated coming into WWE so much that he was physically ill. And there's people like that goes to jobs who hate going to work so much that they are depressed, they're ill, they don't know what to do, they feel like they're stuck because you got to make money, you got to pay your bills, you got to feed your family. But goddamn, are you not allowed to be fulfilled and have some type of enjoyment in the shit you're doing? Leave it up to the millionaires and billionaires and CEOs and COOs. No, you're not. You're not supposed to enjoy shit. You're supposed to go in there, do what I tell you to do, make my money, keep it pushing. So that's what Ember Moon, when she said, she was very upset, and I think this is the most passion I've seen out of her, and it reminded me of Jon Moxley's interview because he was very passionate about it too. So that was really what I wanted to tab on to with the Ember Moon.
At that point in time, a lot of people were jumping ship.
Yeah, and it was literally up until maybe I want to say August, September, like July, August. They were still trying, and I was just like, and I remember telling them, "It's like, look, I would love to sit here and take your money, but you haven't given me a reason to stay." And I remember that being my point of dispute with them, and it was just like, I want to stay. I want you to make me stay, but I was seeing everything that was going on at AEW, and I was like, that looks fun. That looks like what I thought I was gonna do. Like, you know what I mean? And I was like, hold on, and like, you know, and for a while, like, we couldn't even talk about it backstage because they were like, oh, you shouldn't be watching the competitor, and I'm like, how do you expect us to outshine them? How do you expect it? But like, it was different because I wasn't watching for film. I was watching because I was like envious of what was happening there.
That's interesting. She was watching AEW at the lowest of the lows, and that shit was looking fun to her. And this is why I don't think, to be completely honest, if Ember Moon was to go to AEW, I don't know what her character would be. Like, I really think character-wise would still be a failure. She would not have a character. Just kind of like Andrade Cien Almas. He still doesn't have a character. I don't know what Andrade is supposed to be. He's not clicking. He's not meshing well. It's still something missing. And he's over there and they're using him or whatever the case may be. But honestly, it's a bust. I think if Ember Moon was to go to AEW, I really don't see her being used properly because she doesn't have a character. She still doesn't. She's gonna be a sorcerer from Dungeons and Dragons? Is she gonna be a gamer girl? Is she gonna be, a actual werewolf because they got a dinosaur? Like, what is she gonna join the Dark Order? Is she gonna join the House of Black? Like, what exactly would her shtick be? Because Ruby Riott is already the anarchist. Now you got Tony Storm over there, who's literally like got the same aesthetic as Ruby Riott. No one in the women's division sticks out to me, and they don't push no woman to stick out outside of Britt Baker. So I don't even Thunder Rosa, who is the AEW Women's Champion, doesn't stick the fuck out. I don't have even seen the woman do nothing yet. So I don't think AEW would be a good idea for Ember Moon. I really don't.
There were times where they were like, "Oh, girls, don't fall over," and I'm sitting here like. I remember it was such a fight to do the eclipse off the ladder. That was a fight. That, because I had tried to do it the first year at Money in the Bank, they were like, "This is just too unsafe. You're gonna hurt yourself." But I've done this 7 times on the Indies with less safety measures. And it's like I'm good. And I remember like the next year there was like some stuff that happened where like they were like, "Girls, don't fall down and hurt yourselves," and I was like, who are you talking? Like, it's just I was like, I've done dumber stuff, like, and I feel like because WWE is so careful, and like, mind you, they don't want us to get hurt.
Yeah.
But I think on some level, they have to remember that some of us have done the dumb stuff that got us hurt. We've learned from that, and then we basically made it safer, if that makes sense. But like, I remember the eclipse off the ladder that second year. They were like, doors were about to open. There was a minute left, and Vince was like, "She can't do it unless I see it first. She can't do it unless I see it first." I was like, Natty has like one eyelash on. She's like running from makeup to do it, and like we do it one time, and he's like, "Okay, they're fine." And I was like, come on. Yeah, I don't know. It's sometimes too much safety, I feel like.
So she went on to say that it was a little bit too much. It was a little bit too much coddling of the women. She said, now the men, they could cut up and cut loose. And ain't nobody said nothing to them. But for some reason, the women had to be delicate and don't hurt yourself and don't fall over, which is fascinating. And I can see how they hinder the women when it comes to certain maneuvers and moves and matches. But the men, of course, it's a man's sport. So yeah, the men could do it, but the women can't. So that was also something that I think people missed in this interview.
Or
Yeah.
it did when I was up on Raw and SmackDown. NXT was different. This Hunter's like, yeah, ladies, you wanna do that? Go and do it. Go have fun. Just don't get hurt. But he trusted us to do it. Like that was the best part
sure.
about like Hunter's NXT or NXT 1.0, whatever you want to call it, is that like we had not only the coaching staff behind us that was pushing us to do more and pushing us to push those limits past like our gender. We just had so much support from every avenue to do what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
And
That's the thing. And I think I could wrap it up here. Support. Trust. Vince doesn't trust the people that's on the main roster. Unless you've been on the main roster like seasoned years, Randy Orton, Seth, Roman, Naomi, and you know, bring some type of value or something he can monetize and some sex appeal. He don't trust them. He don't trust them on the main roster to do nothing beyond what he thinks a woman's supposed to do. Meanwhile, in NXT, she just told you, Hunter's like, go do it. Jump off the fucking building. Don't hurt yourself. Let me see what you got. Have fun. That's why you had matches like Sasha and Bayley and the whole four, and the exception of the Four Horsemen, and them women down there wrestling like men, and they hair's messed up and they weaves all over the ring and stuff, and they looking a fucking mess after the match. That's why you got what you got. Because at one point NXT had the best women's division, period, in pro wrestling. Before anything, NXT had the best women's division, period, and they kept that up all the way until they got to that whole, we got to be on USA to go up against AEW. After the class of Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, what's her name? Oh man, old girl, the Spades, Queen of Spades. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, that class of women. After that, it really went downhill. Even with Io Shirai and stuff like that. If y'all hear, that's a horn behind me. So anyway, we're gonna leave it right there. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I just wanted to tap on some things on this interview I thought was interesting. It's not all about, oh, she talking shit about WWE. The woman has a right to say what she wants to say and what she went through and how she feels. And I think people should give her the space to do that. I think she handled herself in the interview fabulously. I don't think she disrespected anybody at WWE. She just spoke her truth. And it's nothing that we haven't heard before. And I think her and Dean Ambrose had probably the best exit interviews, speaking the way they felt and moving forward. She's been wrestling. She's been doing what she needs to do. And I will see where she ends up. I personally don't think AEW is a place she needs to be. I think she needs to find somewhere else to go or branch out or something like that. I just don't think she would make it I don't think AEW is a good fit for her, and I hope at some point she finds a character that we all can latch on and be invested in going forth. So that's what I got. Y'all hit me in the comments, tell me what you think. Later.